Now is the Democratic Congresswoman Sharice Davids of Kansas, who remains the only Democrat in the Kansas state congressional delegation to Washington. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us tonight.
It's good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
I want to just point out something that Chris Jensen was just talking about. She talked about Johnson County in Kansas. Johnson County is right here. It's basically a suburb of Kansas City. It's big. It's highly populous. We've got what we think to be most of the votes in, about 95%. The no vote is almost 60. It's above 68%. The yes vote is 31%. Now, when you compare that to how Donald Trump and Joe Biden did in the state, it's 15 points better than Joe Biden did, and it's 12 points lower than Donald Trump did. This is the Steve Kornacki math that makes this all very interesting. People came out to vote no to protect abortion rights in Kansas at rates much higher than they vote for Democrats in Kansas.
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, I have to say this. This is a win for Kansans. This is a win for our families and our rights. And tonight, I would say what we're seeing is the numbers, we're getting close to seeing all the numbers, but they're not all in yet. What we saw was Kansans saying we're going to reject extremism. We are going to protect all Kansans' ability to make their own choices about their health care. Their access to reproductive health care without government interference. And I think this was a broad, diverse coalition of folks who came together to make that statement tonight.
So it's an interesting point you're making, that this is not some kind of left-wing push or liberal push. This actually could appeal to conservatives. The idea that your Constitution protects certain rights in the state of Kansas, and lots of people, 60% of Kansans who voted tonight, came out and said, we'd like the Constitution to continue to protect certain rights. We're not really interested in the government getting involved in taking away a right that we already have.
Right. Yeah, I think here's the thing. When I say a broad, diverse coalition of folks came together, I mean that, we had people across the aisle. You heard just a few minutes ago about the number of unaffiliated voters that we have here in Kansas. And, Kansans do not want politicians. They don't want the government telling us what we can and can't do when it comes to accessing reproductive health care services. And I think what we're seeing is that path forward, particularly for Kansans, is one that goes through the middle. This is not a far extreme position. And I think, politicians who think that that's what is going to get them a win in November are sorely mistaken.
Congresswoman, good to see you. As always, thank you for joining us. One day we'll be able to not just talk about politics, but we'll talk about mixed martial arts, because I just want to have that conversation with you one day. But for now, politics takes all our time.
Can I tell you how much work went into this? It's the same thing that happens in an MMA fight. You can't stop until the bell rings, and that's what the folks in Kansas did today.
You're absolutely right about that. Good to see you again. We will talk again soon. Sharice Davids is a Democrat congresswoman from Kansas.